seed that I have is not enough. I need to find Sarah. She might be able to help. Let's return to the village. Sarah doesn't seem to have returned to her village. Someone here might know where to find her.
If she came by here after having locked us up in the grotto, she was... So even if they know where she's gone, they won't tell us a thing.
This woman knows the mountains like the lining of her pocket. If she wants to disappear, there will be no finding her. And might I remind you that my first duty is to protect your cousin?
Yes, that's true. We must find Constantine. The High King can wait. This is the camp that Constantine's escort must have established.
It wasn't a landslide that did this, but combat. A deadly one. I sure hope our little governor has escaped the carnage.
Search the area. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what happened here. The tents are lacerated by what looks like claws. And there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep. By beasts? Most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defenses. Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and animals were amongst the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. They were armed and they fled as best they could. There are no bodies, and no sign of the presence of Constantine or Katasak. Perhaps they were in another place, and the soldiers wanted to join them. We need to follow the tracks.
Karans, do you?
I've never heard you I must... This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the area and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Katasak and Constantine were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinol Menawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Katasak wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. But there are bodies. And without a doubt, there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. The corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly to the end. Neither Constantine nor Katasak are amongst them. The crater, without a doubt caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. This blade is a native ritual knife, and this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Katasak have found a better means to alleviate Constantine's symptoms? Constantine and Katasak must have been visiting this place, perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened and many fell during the fight, but a group escaped down this path. We need to continue following their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. The ones who got away fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames. No signs of an explosion. Can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions. These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again? Or something else? New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only corpses of our own men. Where could these other soldiers have come from?
These are coin guard. But I couldn't tell you if they served the Bridge Alliance or Teleme.
There are footprints. Only a handful made it up here. The path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantine or Katasak. I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see. According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge be in some way linked to this attack? That makes no sense. These rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. But what could have happened here? These vials look familiar. Katasak used the very same to stock his potions. He came all the way here. I'm going to pick them up. I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantine. What have you gotten yourself into again? Very well. Let's sum things up. Constantine and Katasak definitely came through here to perform an attack obviously involving wild... And then there are these traces of inexplicable...
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack.
Unless... he himself was behind it.
How could you even think something like that? He is a hero.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantine captive, he can now apply leverage to the colony. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. Regardless of who is guilty, I must... Perhaps we could return to Wenxavier in order... Katasak may have returned there. We are also going to have to visit their outpost. Their soldiers participated in the combat.
I doubt that the Alliance would have decided to openly... Don't forget that they owe their continued presence...
And thanks to you, too. Maybe those men are still loyal to them. However, one way or another, Constantine is in... Let us be on our way without further delay.
colonials. You must have gotten lost to have come this far from nowhere.
Destek. I am legate of the Congregation of Merchants on this island.
A legate? Here? Pardon my dismay, but we don't get many official sorts around. Captain Idris, I am the ranking officer in charge. What can I do for you, milady?
I am looking for Constantin d'Orsay, the island governor of the...
A governor? Here? Whatever would he be doing in this raft?
My cousin was part of an expedition in this region. His men and his camp were attacked. They nearly all died, but we found no trace of his body. Wounded and holding up somewhere, or...
Have you cast your suspicions in our direction? We've had neither reinforcements nor supply. I wouldn't risk the few lives remaining to it. I'm not crazy. I'm truly sorry for your cousin. The region is dangerous. The natives are heartless.
You do know that we found the bodies of several men from the...
How could you be sure?
One of them was...
And they are dead.
Explain yourself, Captain.
They were monitoring the zone. They were to warn us that we have lost too many men to surprise attacks. Yesterday, we heard screams and saw some strange...
And you didn't go and see for yourself? You hear screams, certainly those of your own men.
So the last of my men give up their lives for nothing. You can think of me as a coward if you like. But me?
Why do I have the feeling that you're holding something back from me? I can see how I'm certain you haven't been paid either for... I cannot solve all of your problems.
A little gold would certainly improve. One of them...
A survivor. Excellent. Did he tell you...
He wasn't able to say a word. Our nurse sits with him, but his wounds are extremely serious.
I am sorry to hear that, Captain.
Go and see the nurse. Perhaps you can't take it anymore. Anything else?
I need to be going.
I would...
What are you doing there? This is an infirmary!
I know. I've come to see the wounded soldier.
That is very kind of him. But alas, it's a little...
What are you saying? Is the soldier...
No, but I've been asking the captain for weeks to escort. I no longer have a single remedy. And now that we have...
Do you know what type of remedy would allow him to survive?
Yes, at least I think so. It's a known
I see. Give me the recipe. We'll...
Thank you. Because of you, the...
flasks. You'll Greetings. I was honored. Greeting. I was honored by your visit. Please come back whenever you want.
Come closer. Come closer. Oh my... Your Excellency. Thanks for your visit.
Were you able to concoct the potion against sperm?
Yes, I was.
Give it to me. I'll take care of this. There. We must wait and be patient now.
Will he make it?
I hope so. We'll know soon enough.
And if he survives?
Come back tomorrow at the same time.
Very well. I'll come back to...
See you soon. And thank you.
Hello, soldier. How are you doing?
Better. A lot better.
I simply prepared the potion that she told me how to make. Could you tell me what happened during the attack?
We were posted up on the peak to follow rebel movement, and we heard sounds of fighting not far from our position. Men were screaming. Soldiers of the Coin Guard and an islander were trying to protect a young man.
Konstantin Katasak and his escort. Who were they?
Dozens of wild animals. They seemed completely enraged and intense.
Flames? Where were they coming from?
I didn't see everything. All was blood and confusion with beef. But I thought I saw another islander. There was practically no one left on the battlefield. I came to when I heard voices of islanders approaching. I thought to myself, they're coming to finish off the wounded. I got up, I dragged myself here. And you know the rest.
I'm going to have to go and find these rebels.
You shouldn't do that. They killed all of my friends. You take a great risk.
That's enough. Rest now. You're still far from having...
Yes. It's best I leave you now. I've learned... I'll have a word with your captain. Goodbye.
Excellency, I was told that you saved my soldier. Thank you. You can't imagine what this means to us.
Please.
Did you learn what you needed to learn?
Yes. I was able to question your... He and his company heard sounds of the attack, and my cousin's escort were nearly annihilated by a strange sorcerer controlled them.
One of those rebel savages, no doubt. I knew that they must have learned that an important man was in the region and thought... I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. I know where the camp can be found.
Like you freed the scholars. Thank you again for saving my...
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same. Saved...
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Hello.
Renaigse, there you are again. What do you...
To speak to you about my cousin's capture and the massacre of his escort. A soldier from the nearby outpost survived.
You dare come here and accuse us of taking him? Let me throw him out this... May they receive this punishment.
I know that you see us as your enemies, but we are not here to harm you. I only seek to find the man I consider to be my brother, as well as the man who was protecting him. Katasak, one of your greatest Donegad.
No Donea Exregao would attack Katasak.
If you didn't attack him, you must... I was told that an islander took my cousin away. Perhaps your men were there to aid them.
We do not have... As for Katasak, and the Vorst, Tire. That night, we heard the sounds of a terrible combat. We went to see. The last breath of Katasak had returned, and many of the Renaigse were dead. We carried the body of the Donegad, and...
He gave his life to protect Constantine. This request might surprise you.
Why? What do you want to do with him, Renaigse?
Examine him. We were told that an island native was there, and that he liked...
No Donea Exregao would attack Katasak.
That is the very reason I need to see...
You may see him. But if you desecrate him...
Katasak. Seeing the state of his body, I hate myself for having suspected him. Forgive me, Donegad, to have doubted your loyalty. And even more for what we are about to do. Now then. Let's see what story this corpse has to tell. The corpse retains the marks of a bludgeoning. There are large bruises all over it. I can see no wounds that could be attributed to a blade or musket shot. The main wound is found on the chest, which to the extent that the skin has been torn, and the ribs around the edges of the wound are singed, and there's a powdery spot on this wound. Katasak bore the brunt of this attack of incredible force. I can only imagine one thing that would have inflicted such a wound. It's as if an enormous burning stone hit him right in the... And seeing as how the bodies of the soldiers we found was... We can deduce that we are tracking a man.
I can't imagine an Adaig behaving like this. That They might attack careless hunters. The power to call volcano fires.
We still don't really know who is actually behind this attack, judging by the severity of these wounds.
All your experiments.
We had to at least try. Are you not even...
We've grown accustomed to the loss of lives. Your relentless attacks and incessant treacheries. All the same, there is truth in your words. Guardian and Donegad wouldn't... There is a ritual that might help us.
The Anatalas Fair? What is it?
It is a magical rite that it allows the Donegad who chants it.
That would allow us to at least see the face of his assassin.
If
Let's ask her for her help then. She might be able to tell us.
you are quick to ask another to put her mind in, imagine the pain of the wounds of another. Shaking. This is what you must ask of the Tier. When her companion was lost since that day.
That would explain her distrust of...
You must make her see your purpose.
Hello, Mev.
Renoixe. Woi.
I've come to ask for your help.
My help. You still see?
My cousin has been taken. And I've been told that
Truly. And in...
by performing the Anatalas Fair on the
Katasach is dead. Under Voshtire. He was a good man. Perhaps the best of us all. How did this happen?
He went. My cousin has disappeared. Taken. We examined him, and it seemed as if he had been struck.
Fire of the earth. Only the Nadaig Manemen have the power, but none of our own would have attacked Katasach.
This is why we want to understand and to find who's responsible.
Will you leave him and...
What do you mean?
You let the one who tried...
That is true. But I can't yet tell you what I will do to the one responsible for this. At least we will have a chance to find...
Because it is your true reason to act upon this. Whatever your reasons, our island wails in suffering. Many Sinol Menawi have done. The Anatalas Fair may kill me, but you will need to act as my Voglendaig and bring...
What do you require?
A potion. And listen and remember. Do not forget, the viscera of the scavengers must be taken because they contain the flesh of... As for the personal object of Katasach...
He didn't have a weapon when I found his body.
Where can I find him?
In Doren's camp. She recovered...
Very well. Not far from there is... Then we can perform the ritual when the moon...
In that case, let's go together to the ritual site. The place of the attack is not...
Very well. I'll follow you. Were you able to find...
No.
Have you remembered a potion made?
I have heard and
Find me here when...
until then,